So you were that process ilana the night shift na ke no the night shift. Ndava koma you know the night shift
siake.
Kwa jandi check in nothing happened. I remember a time Diekalo, that area of pipeline that meter that is mwana usini wokie mpaka nomba. Me, I didn't know. Na newa tila ya mbe kana ya kele ukaba. Even they spend there sometimes. Na we jamaa kengiwe wasuni cousin wako. Yani kwa demu ni my cousin.
Ni cousin wako.
So ni kitu to host. I think I was desperate. I was stupid in love. Nini? I confronted that guy na di nomba kwake. I followed my ex. Baka ali alika nomba kwa mwana. Stupid in me. Stove ye bayandi. Mauta.
Mililo tuyoba.
Kila kindu kiyoba. You know the setup of a single room. Anewa matchbox. And then on our way coming, she made a joke. Mama Mwangi unajua naweza huwa. So to me, haikuni hit. To Mama Mwangi, haikumuhit. Yeye aka respond with a joke. Amukule lusi watu wanakuacha. Wananguko bano we mwano things. But I felt like the whole world was just against me. Everything was just breaking. Na kwepa wakwatisi. Immediately aliwasha. Na avya nondo ngoila nekite. The t-shirt was white. It was kind of nylon. And then I had a jeans. They immediately siya kwa tamaki. So no abuiwe mononando. Mob. Bado namtetea.
Ubitu? Na ukwati mwaki?
Ngeye kwasi ya ekana inake. Can you imagine?
Nakawaii muwa wewe.
I don't know. I don't know.
Waii muwa wewe. Waii mkwati emiti.
To date I feel like nilikoseanga mamangu sana. I literally, I don't know how to put it, but niwe aina kose ya sima kwa mono. To date they even look at me and ask me, nicha umu itusuonia. Nikaenda kwekeo. Nondo tudaya usia uwa. And whenever they start that conversation,
unafeel
inani affectingi sana. And the third one was that life was too hard for us in Nairobi and we decided to kill ourselves. So unfortunately, mwetu akuyebu. Yes. So now, it wouldn't desiki any dakwa. Neo sungi, kana neongi. Yani nobody knows. But now we are coming to know it almost 3 years down the line. Okay? I used to drink to a point. That club in Kericho, they knew me to a point of huyu hata akikosa kulipa, we know where we are going to get the money from. Yes.
Weni wisika na kuinanzia ya metuki muno na ukunewa bonus itina wa kuthoa credit cha Airtel witumia M-Pesa. Na indi oza simu yaku kanose kanotubuka kubala wandika asindusia bata muno wandike undu ukathoa credit ndini wa company wa Native Images. Na indi ndini wa M-Pesa utine paupa la wandike tuwe lipa na M-Pesa. Wa vidhibube lipa na M-Pesa with there uthi kwa option ya enter pay bill number. Pay bill number ni yono isuni yoya bata monobyo. Tandatu itano 665555. Na indi no itina wawu withi uitine kwa account number wiki ya namba yaku ya Airtel ila ni numese kana Telcom. Na indi itina wawu withi kwa amount wiki ya silingi lao kwenda kweki ya either ni 10, either ni miongwele, either ni 50, either ni diana, either ni ngili umwe. Na indi itina wawu wiki ya M-Pesa pin yaku na indi ni kukulia kana no kwenda kuthoa credit cha silingi 10, silingi miongwele ndeni wa company wa Native Images. Na indi weku with wa credit ndukabikie na usemba ndukani kana wiku ule umya credit ba wina simu yaku as long as wina mbesa M-Pesa ni nobikia kuthoa credit ndeni wa Native Images.
Tio mwatinda mbaya ya vero na Mutongoi TV fans. Ni kalibu ingi tukabikie na ukwati ya niandeni uonena nyawito kilunguni cha vero show. Kilungilai kukia kila wakele kwa mbia saili na miongwe na siya wiyo Mutongoi TV. Nandeni wa platform siya vero show kana YouTube ya vero show no kwata program kila kana saasio onde ila ukwidho oyenda kusisia. So subscribe to YouTube channel ya kwani keda wile no kwata program susio onde. Nani mdhona nuwa munde tiliwa na mwanake umawito kuma ukamba wa Makueni County ngalikoni ya Kibwezi kana Kibwezi ulawethiwe a fall in love kana esya ekango eyekila yenda kana ethiwa nandu na mwitu umwe omukamba na ndi wethia weni wetumite kwikala na mundu muka usu lakini wethia kwa mundu muka usungi maundu mai tofauti na ndi abikia kumubibya na mautata na indi ngewa yake niyo inova no ni kwacha no soma kendo na nubikia na ututhika mutethani wa omundi na ni mubya ndo kusupport vero show watindara
Natindana sanya
kana weteleta nguye gota haya gota basi
Wikala katadi
wikala katadi
yes
nduge dimba ya vero show mba ya Mutongoi TV ndo program hii pia nienda Mutongoi TV on Tuesdays 8 p.m.
Okay
makethio nde ni metabia wakilishite kisio kiba
mafans ma vero show Mutongoi TV ina mukethia monona nita wa Samuel Mbithi numitokamba wa Kibwezi, that is Makueni County. Yes,
nice. Kibwezi kwenda wa Kibwezi
nigo
era Kibwezi karibu sana ambe ni mubya ndo create time ko kandeno wa vero show nisi andu metha makwatanite na mundu muthukumi withia titho kanyondo tona kutia we desk ni ambo semba yake ondongo kede kama sababu yako na hapana but at least we create time. Asante sana.
Asante pia.
Now Samuel, life imekuaje?
Life is a journey. Chichondo na kueta, it's a journey. On either twili and life is still continuing or to your baba. So life the end than ups and downs. Kuna time unajipata kila kindu kiende onesa singo kethia siendo no sia thina but at the same rate we bought nasia we don't give up. We have all solutions for everything within ourselves and maybe through talking through consult ando kumakulio kindu cha bikaba beka wata sindu sia muthembaros but life is a journey all through.
Sure.
Yes.
Ngoma ni tena story yaku na clips yaku na gatino kulo na siatita lando ala memoikeo na strong we mwakati wa moa na ndo ala daring so kota vya daring ndo ala daring
Okay.
One of them na congratulations ndo wau.
Thank you.
Na I'm very sure story yaku akamba ingi maimese na pole ndo akilacha kitikie though ndo angi la methi wana maomisi kana methi wana otoni kibathukanyo ndimia pole shoni mambia vero acha kuniambia pole niambie congratulations sababu ni alive na hiyo kitu cha tenge toki ni mini haikunimaliza God will come through and ikaniumiza tu kidogo but I'm good. So pole ndo akilacha kie na tikaribu bikie na share story yako kile mwike wa mondo na usomethia mukamba we bando dunia bale bikite
we ndi sini ambela
over what happened?
I think the first thing umweke ni very important na mabinda maingi neto kwa tawani nita mautatwa nita omondo maingi makindi lakini oundu weyo sana oundu weyo ikalianie kudetermine the end result kana the end goal. First thing wamba kwasia ni kutungia ngai mowe undu na ndungi mabitite through the same thing I've gone through but actually ainge mabepo ainge mabebiswe ngi matomo na to view all those violence sikwekeka within the institution we call marriage or institution or a relationship or ando mwisene and most of them never made it maybe or some of them they made it but because of the traumas, because of medical bills, the stigma out there aingi end up kwikata kweyewa So it's not something new. And there's nothing new in this world. Kila kindu chonde kikie kitambo. This is just a repetition of the past. Na nye maisha mako machenji matuku 17 October 2012. Nione na bibi sweni mundu otwaendu otwesene otwaina process ya songe teka biko bandu kethia now. I can call it maybe marriage but not really officially. But at least andu makwito ni mese on then mamwese anina mwese friends yakwa nisi ya mwese pia. I was young, na 20 years.
20 years, yes, na wenda ko settle.
So I don't know whether to say I was rushing.
Mapenzi ilikuwa mingi. I don't say mapenzi, no, wow. Yeah.
You have to keep on taking medication ya mapenzi, because it's like a tree nikiendo uku irrigate. At the end of the day kikaonenga a result matunda. Na matunda sengino medha maseo maketha meo moyo ange maketha meo, so it depends. Emu tutu akoma ni yeko ilobi back in 2011. I don't remember the exact month or the date, but during the Christmas holiday, because that Christmas holiday in the break ngadi. I was working as a security guard by then. That was my first job in Nairobi. Yes, I was being paid 5,000 shillings for your information.
Wow. Watu anza mbali.
So I met her through a friend. No friend nake na komanio nake kuilobi, and then we shared like a mutual thing. Amanda we got kibarua nini, we are hustling together,
mafungukiana mwedo ma friends.
Exactly. Iwe then to ambisio push like the same agenda. Wakwata kibalo bando isitanishtua hivyo. We used to visit each other. Iwe bona amanani na mwetu na ake amanani na mwetu me high school. Na lando mukoma na mwe high school, and then all of a sudden umetoka shule, then you come and bump at each other again in Nairobi. And then we started to exchange contacts. We started having a conversation. Katiana, you know, that process. Whether nake ina issues pia kulaweka like la nanti wake. So jumi mapenzi imenibeba na naishi peke yangu.
Na kwani iko nini?
You can come and live with me, it's okay, but you will be having visits to your auntie. Nekekale
nita mwasa permanently.
Exactly. So we started it that way. Na time wayasonga. But today I more than 9 months. Then I started seeing what currently Sequito red flags. By then I didn't know isu
ni mapenzi maukunikiti.
Singeangalia nione yenyewe si ndo yeke. But now my background is more of my mom is a true Christian. My dad si Mkristo kabisa, but every Sunday lazima tuende kanisa hivi. Wende udhi lakini ameke sure hivi mtuani. So I've been brought up through the church way. And then it got to a point where there you nungo exercise more in my life kala na avundiswa ne kanisa ni. And then nina believe in marriage. I saw my parents' marriage, although ilikuwa na issues mingi and all that, but all kuvumiliana, we became people from there. So I wanted to exercise the same thing. Na mwetu langa komana na kene mwende wambe ndi atakuwa bibi yangu. I had never had a girlfriend in high school. Sijaikuwa. Yes. No, I'm a friend makuandikia na walua, but nothing beyond that. I had not known any woman in my life. So having that in thought, na like mundulanga komana nake wambe. Niwoka tuekedia kibete. So now nimekutana na huyu na nimeamua ni yeye, and I want us to tuishi maisha mzuri. Now where I tricky aina nondo make maingi ndese. Of course ninaona, but I ignored.
Why blind?
I was naive. I was blind, and I blinded by love, you know. Niona yumondo tukatia na what will happen.
Ni kama utapata mwingine.
Kama sitapata mwingine, you know, first love. Yenyewe.
Inawanga na ujinga.
So that's what happened. Now I started seeing her ayeka siendo ite kweleka, and then I started questioning about them. We twatumia simu mwene nake ya kamulika mwizi. So no kana uma we also security. I got a job as a waiter in a club. Basi okay mao. Bona thoko manga. Na why we are was now upgraded from 5,000 to 7,000. So the 2,000 shilling was making really sense to me. Alafu ningo tipi wa kona
value
I'm working in shifts. Nondo nenda yuna lika that kwa mbisi thoko in shifts. Now I'm able to start schooling again. Nesi okay school na mbisi so mo the night shift more than now next school. So I wanted to do that kind of thing. So you were there that process ilana the night shift na ke no the night shift. Ndavo koma you know the night shift is yake. Yeah, kwa jandi check in no kia nothing happened. But there was this frequent person all the time watinda kunaita simu. Me, I'm that kind of a person. I will not question you from day one. Nikilia, but one day when I want to know anything, I will know. Na nitakuuliza. Na ndio kuulia ni kwithai ni noni, ni ukulia nondo ni none ate mala maingi. That's how I behave. Amwache tu anasumbuanga tu kunipigia simu nini. Okay. Mi sioni anything. Basongo mio kadhaa. Then one day my neighbors were telling me that there's something going on in your house. You ndito koma we our security na kala side ya pipeline out Transami. But now when I got this job at club in Syokimau, I had to move closer to the and then with the due to me a lot of fare transport. Asengi tuma shift tuko there. Ndoko hata means of transport back home. So ya bidi nithengengie pakube na job. So na kwa nataka sumbo kama bati na iba around 1,800 a month. It was very affordable. Now from there to work, it's a walking distance. Yana mu invite tu ikalemwe wa u alea. Ambia we ti wa classic. We. Na yu mundu akwete wa class chuna we mwene ndeno nemba yake. Onandena we. So where they having a lot of issues and me, I was like, no, I'm doing this for me. Still lazima ukue. But it was still hurting. Tuja break up, nothing has happened, but I feel like apana, if I continue being here, mimi ndio naumia zaidi. So now I had to completely move no Syokimau, but she used to visit. Yundiuma, the other side of pipeline, that's when naoneta a lot of red flags. Binge. Na ngakoshenewa pia ni neighbors and a few friends ala nese nonamo. I remember a time Ndikalo, that area of pipeline that meter that is mwana usinu wokie mpaka nomba. Me, I didn't know na newa tila yambe kana yake liuka haba. Even they spend there sometimes. Na we jamaa kengiwe wasuni cousin wako. Yani kwa demu ni my cousin.
Ni cousin wako.
So ni kitu to host. Sita blame the guy as at that point. But again, you have to do your due diligence also. There was a time wangu ni simu ambia ndo watu amwetu. Yes. Remember to share simu na so I think I expect ya demu sunu wina simu. So ila wangu ni yesimu ninya nosie. Na iwe yane? Number ni saved of course, but na mwene simu ndenya ndeva kube nondo inesi number. But still nila number ni question ya a lot. And that day ambea endo watu amwetu. Mwitu siya tawa Lucy ndonga. Angolia Lucy yako karibu.
Ni mugamba wito.
Ni mugamba. Ni mugamba. Angolia manosu ti mugamba we. Anenise Kiswahili Angolia. Lucy yaba kube na ndeba kube chokitu pina kwe mwenye simu yako kari. Angolia na nani na mwamini Sam. Ambea kazini yake. So ne kulio makule. Okay. si kazi, mi si kazini yake. Ambia pana aliniambia ni kazini yake, wewe ndio umemhost for some time. Sijui mamake anajipanga ndio ampeleke shule. Na mwana sio atawa Edwin, na mwe Edwin. Huyu si kazini yangu. This is my girlfriend for your information. Na nimeona mara mingi mkiongea nini and I don't think that is the right way to do. Ambe msichana nitamuoa, I don't know what. Ambe actually I'm married but I will marry her as a second wife.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a joke, it's a prank, but I was hurting. And then, you know, mawe ane neno kana inamo tavia. Swetha always bini kwa ndedye nesimu. Na umalathi.
Adi lo amboka adi yako na simu.
Adi yako na simu siaga manena. Now when it became now too serious, undu ninone tena ngatabua na okay, there was a time I met that guy na ngamotadia. One on one, this is my girl. I think I was desperate. I was stupid in love. Nini? I confronted that guy na rinomba kwake. I followed my ex. Baka ali alikamomba kwa mwana. Stupid in me.
We. Na alafu.
Kitetea mundo wako. I'm not thinking that this conversation might go bad.
Na unaenda kwa nyumba ya mtu.
Na naenda kwa nyumba ya mtu. Mtu nimemmeet only once. Na tumeongea kwa simu na nimemuelezea this and this and this and this. But now nimeamka na vimbaka imara.
Wasi hapo kila kikoka. Sio kila kikasi hawa.
I went there, we tualika. I waited for some time. I pressed the bell. Jamaa no avingoje nomba. Alikangulia, kwani nyinyi wote mmekuja huku? And I sat down. And I was somewhere. And the guy was older than me. I think tulikuwa na age gap ya almost 8 years or 10 years. And I was somewhere. Naambia, mimi sina shida, msichana wako ndo ananipenda.
We?
So, nakitio kumala. I was crying, like I was going through a lot to a point of I didn't know how I moved all the way from Imara to my house back. Sikuelewa anything on that stretch. Ulamwe tuno kwesa uko inge kwa weyo. Pole, you know, nini mimi na karo kangu kazuri. Okay.
Ukamkubali.
2 weeks down the line, the same things. Now, what actually was even forcing me more Nume pipeline was one, the job. Two, I wanted to change the environment. Then no kayune kalasi oke now na alea. We also a club worker watileka. There was an issue with the land Lamai, so they were evicted. Yeah, bidintina chao sina job. Na kwa tatu job tu promo nini nikaanza kufanya. So when nikifanya hiyo kazi, that was in now 2012. That stretch before Nokoban. Where they are kenita makosa ni na jamaa. You were there a frequent kwa mano. Me, I'm not seeing any red flags. I'm just naona si ndo.
Wasianga ino watungia mboya.
Aimbe adhi kwa anti wake. Me, I'm like, it's okay. But unfortunately later no kiene there, we were not only two, we were many. We were many.
Wow.
Even plot is wekala kwa anti wake, there was another person. Hapo tu.
What?
So I don't know what I was dating and what I was doing. Now, when Ilana became most of you know, there are some things are within my control. I have to take control over things. That is when hell broke. Because when I became serious, I was like, now I'm too issue. I'm too young for this drama. My friends are also telling me that you're too young for this drama. So now you have to make a decision. And the decision is either way kalena mutu wa kuwa matunda loka ya noelo wesiweka ama utile mutusu pitane oba ndonge. And na mwega nitile mutusu. Now that day, okay, like the previous night, I was supposed to go to work that morning. Peka wela na kwa atitoka short contract. And when she came, I still insisted that we part ways. Mimi siyezishi na mtu kama wewe. Mundu kweka anayeka. Mimi I'm tired and I'm done. Na sina ubaya na wewe. And no mess out kama na later. But for now, this is what I need. And this is what is workable for me. you know machozi ya crocodile, hapana, you cannot do that, unajua ningwende test, sijui tumetoka far. No, tujatoka far. It was only I think 8 months, 9 months of that drama. So convincing kidogo, nimekataa nibembeleza na mwe ingwa issue, wefanya nini, wefi, we will talk. I was not violent and I've never been violent in my life. But that day something was provoking me. She was also provoking me with threats, but sizichukuli serious. I'm assuming, yes. I'm assuming. But had I taken steps for that process, but I took those things as that it nondo nina mweathi mtu atia na maybe pia alikuwa ameinvest in this relationship. Si lazima uinvest even financially, even emotionally, you know. But now mali imefika, we have to part. Zambi ende na mbesa usioka ko na ndeo thikwa anti wake. Na hivyo. Ena tupeso kadhaa. I gave her 2,000 shillings in cash. M-Pesa was not even popular those days. Smartphones were very limited people. I remember I saw my first smartphone with jamaa twasoma na akikuwa my well off. That was my first time. Actually, I think it was in 2012. I don't know when my first smartphone. I gave her the 2,000 shillings that night. Na ndongia. Na mwe hapana, use this for your transport. Actually, she packed. Ngwasia kila wa inasema she packed. We were young, all of us. Because she was turning 20. Me, I was already nakuja ku complete my 20. Ingia 21. Apakwe mundu anene to anene. I used to cook with a stove. And nina abunde ninaona undo my dad weka. My dad is a teacher. So my maenda makeka shopping ya last the whole month. Undo na kitu ni ushago interior. So that commuting is also not affordable. So neka the same things. So I would go buy paraffin from a petrol station, 5 liters. I know this one will last me this period. So we mauta matia later. That night we didn't cook in that house. There was no matchbox. In the morning I wanted to, actually that night, yes, there was no matchbox, but I felt like ndiye ndoya. Nilikuwa na hasira, I felt like hapana. So in the morning I wanted to make something before I go to work. But kwenda na vurugu. That morning. Kuna sababu hiyo dhiku tukane kosa matchbox. Matchbox by then was going for 3 shillings. Neke sababu na naina noti nene ya mleka pana. So to her convenience, I ended yuko wa matchbox with 2,000 I've given her. But when she went to the shop, mamwea madena nyao change. So now she was like, nano unengai ningu ikata ningu kakuiva. Amwea no isi nobunde sikia no ndai mundu frequent takwa. Mimi ningeenda kwa hiyo shop ningepewa. Neno sasa ndugu muno ngesa ibo later. So when she went there, kulia nano ane abato. So she came now. I had a neighbor. How my putu kala Mumbai susia mabati, there was this side and this side. Mine was ya mwisho. And then my door yai before umine like the wall ya Mumba kabisa.
Ukutani?
Yeah.
Almost ukutani?
Yes. Alafu my neighbor's door was on the other side. So my neighbor on the bedroom, mimi niko ni kama niko sasa area yangu ya kukaa wangu. That lady etawa mama Mwangi ai mukamba batatu yetu ni Mwikuyu. She was a very good neighbor to me. Na ai mwito. So no ambano yangu wakujua na ndesi. The husband was also a good friend to me. Tuakomana tukathitu kadhaa ukapool nini just to activities and then we come back home. So we were like a family there. So because this lady my ex-girlfriend it is an easy access to get a matchbox. So now she came avoya matchbox from that house. Saisunye ni nomba. I had no bed na komande. Then ngeki ya curtain. Then gathi ya misuma ukutani nganika nguo. Nguo ilingi na anika hapa juu ya curtain.
Hapo juu ya curtain.
Exactly. stove yiva yandhi mauta
mililo tuoba
kila kindu kioba you know the setup of a single room anewa matchbox and then on our way coming she made a joke mama Mwangi unajua naweza ua so to me haikunihit to mama Mwangi haikumuhit yeye akarespond with a joke amukule lusi watu wanakuacha ona nguko bano we mwana things
we
ayenye natio kuwa mpaka nyao no wa emondo so we never took it lightly ni asira wana joke nini no mese ne and all that so she came ila okie number there was like a minute of silence and to me it was like kalata umenendo dinyao oyane because already Nisha Wells almost 5 hours in that house we also know that nilikile saa ile to text my supervisor I will not make it on time lakini by 2 o'clock nitaingia ambia baichao by the issue so saa hizo nisiavika around saa 5 na mwe itabidi umetoka sijui nini bla 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 you never yunye nasi okenedi like tandani and I was kwa mattress then I was like when you feel like going utaenda
mimi ndaamka
ukishaenda so you know akomie wewe ya mao iko kwa floor but hii mwili ingine iko kwa mattress anasaka pillow na hiyo baadhi mimi nikapumzika so that is the time she got time ya 10 ya mauta I didn't see that but according to the police alamoki and the investigation hiyo mafuta ikumwagiliwa hivi iliekwa in an open something like a cup ikarushwa na nakwatu because if ingekuja na kamtungi nimwagiliwe ingekuwa rahisi for me to prevent yes ningemwagiliwa mafuta but ninge prevent kuwashwa so that never happened oka newiyo tu nekisiwa mauta and then it is very irritating ikaningia kwa macho ikaningia kwa mapua so I was feeling that irritation nasikia itchiness I'm confused I don't know what is going on sijui hata ni mafuta ama acid I know nothing I'm just there like sijui what is going on I'm just confused and then within I think that thing didn't last more than 5 seconds but I felt like the whole world was just against me everything was just breaking na kwa wakwatisi immediately aliwasha na vya nondo ngoila nekite the t-shirt was white it was kind of nylon and then I had a jeans they immediately siakwata mwaki so niko pale confusion I don't know nijizime sijui nitoke nje nimeshout people have come people are trying to calm yani ando mejaribu kumanda how they are going kuzima hii moto pia wameshindwa so now na umalile nzanze mbete because we used to share washroom if you ever lived in pipeline you understand so kuna drum inaekangwa ya maji kimaliza kufua that mnaeka maji that is the water I used kujizima maji chafu so nilieka hiyo ndoo immediately na nikajimwagia na bwa
saisu wa kukwatia yako wapi ameenda ama ametoroka
but Asemba na nduma boda boda because where I used to live there was like a stage so when the ladies were shouting they alerted down na mama na Asembete so Asemba akwado atungwa so that's the time you know siwe na yuanza mambi si obosi ya momba because the house was also burning my clothes were burning nini I don't know I was totally confused to date I've never understood that day clearly but uzuri wangu have a photomatic mind everything is in image form I might fail sometimes to pick up clearly but there's an image disturbing me on my mind so no abuiwe mononando mob bado namtetea
ubitu na ukwati mwaki
ngeye kwasia ekana inake can you imagine
akwai muo wewe
I don't know I don't know
akwai muo wewe wai mkwati emiti
so the only contact I was remembering is at that time and the easiest was my cousin's contact ekala Nairobi nikapeana namba yake ya kunewa simu na wasoto watu hawa twesililwe Mlolongo police station askale moyo ene mambona ndombita and then I was in a lot of pain to a point of now the pain is not pain anymore to me sasa ni kama nimekuwa used to it no betwe nilelo masukani nini and all that. Actually I was naked. I was literally naked. Askari wakachukua msichana ameweke ndani, then newa upelekeni wapi? Hospitali kwanza. So I was taken to Shalom Hospital. From there I don't remember anything until admission. I just found myself in a ward and I'm it's day 3. And I do nothing. I cannot remember what happened. They're trying to ni kama resuscitate my memory, but I wasn't able to recall anything. That's when I found my mom had come. My dad was there. My cousin was there. Some friends were there. And then mom was crying. To date I feel like nilikoseanga mamangu sana. I literally, I don't know how to put it, but niwe aina kosea sima kwa mono. To date they even look at me and ask me nicha umwe suoni nikaenda kwikeo nondo to the house ya and whenever they start that conversation
una feel
inani affecting sana because I realized that it traumatized my parents also. It was not their wish or expectation, and maybe to say the beauty thing was they knew the girl. Then I'm introduced it even to my parents, and they knew her. So now the question was why. Up to date we've never answered that question. Why? Naitwa Shalom nekalile around 2 months. Let's say 1 month and some few weeks, and then I was discharged. During that period, in Isibitali, the investigating officer came to the hospital. Actually, okay, the first week. Na what happened because there were contradicting statements. Pa Yamulolongo police station. The first one was mwetu aisi no kundia na naamwa kuibebia. I think family yake, maybe friends make, some people she was consulting told her to change that narrative again.
You have history in favor.
Yes. The second time, Asia stove yeki olipokandeua. Okay? Because even the investigation, the police were really pushing a lot. Even my friends and cousins, they were like, "Apana kitu kama yezi happen." And the third one was that life was too hard for us in Nairobi, and we decided to kill ourselves. And now there is my statement that uli ni choma. So now we have 4 contradicting. You were the ape story siya contradict ya kulingana na statement dundu siandiketo hii. We are bidding about to seek more clarity on the same. Yes, I saw in hospital beki nungwatiane acho, but my parents were really following up on that. So no kana discharge wa hospitali. When I was discharged, no kana kwatwa ni sindu sita wa keloids and contractures. So now the band management ye kiwenai. Ndo nebete kuma kido ichonde kwa kube. And then moko mpaka kuku. Iwe there nabo na iwe there moko mabo amekita tu makwata neti na ngingo we there nili. So if I have to move ni move na mwe wonde. No kilia kwako there is a limit to where inaweza fika. Hii ya bidi na mbisi kwatiania na physiotherapy na kuambisia procedures. So without physio will work, but physio
weni wisika na kuinanzia ya metuki muno na ukunewa bonus itina wa kuthoa credit cha Airtel witumia M-Pesa na indi oza simu yaku kana oseka notebook kwa andika asindu cia bata muno wandike undu ukathoa credit thini wa company wa Native Images na indi thini wa M-Pesa utine paupa la wandiketwe lipa na M-Pesa wa vithibupe lipa na M-Pesa with there uthi kwa option ya enter pay bill number niyo no isu niyo ya bata muno byo 33555 665555 na indi no itina wau withi uitine kwa account number wiki ya namba yaku ya Airtel ila ni numese kana Telcom na indi itina wau withi kwa amount wiki ya shilingi la ukwenda kweki either ni 10 either ni 20 either ni 50 either ni yana either ni ngili umwe na indi itina wau wiki ya M-Pesa pin yaku na indi ni kukulia kana no kwenda kuthoa credit cha shilingi 10 shilingi 20 ndeni wa company wa Native Images na indi weku with wa credit ndukabikie na usemba nduka dukani kana wigo ule umya credit ba wina simu yaku as long as wina mbesa M-Pesa ni no bikia kuthoa credit ndino wa native images
where they are.
Nditona.
It's actually hurting me. At that time it was in 4 months. Unfortunately within me iswina itatu twasi 1.5 ninai sipitali. The other one I'm following up also on recovery.
Yeah.
So within a period actually 3 months kesi ni amuiwe na yecho na ya dismiss wa kotini.
What?
I know nothing dia itwa kotini sio no more as a witness. Sijawahi notify any single day that there is a court proceeding inaendelea kuhusu issue yangu. Ni dhito nyeta complainant.
We?
So kesi imeamuliwa na yecho. Na asima kama ambe amboboa.
Yeah, kuboi kwa maana.
Yes. First and foremost thing ni wewe your health. So once you get back on your feet tutajua hizo vitu zingine. Mimi sasa isu yu madhese. Ona kwa ndisi. Ni 9 months ya 2017.
Wa?
Nilijua in 2017. So all that time let me focus but one day. But now, yes, now in 2015 something happened. There was a conversation in one of the radio stations about feeder, I don't know about deadbeat dads, I don't know about what. And then I was mentioned there. Why? Because a story and I can relate. I can relate with that story. So unfortunately, mwetu akuyebu. Yes. So now even ndisikie nilakwa ne osunge kana ne onge yani nobody knows. But now we are coming to know it almost 3 years down the line. Okay? Oh, mwana usiwa kwatie we abantu basi. Na kwata job nzeo. Gotten a very good job actually by that time. Mwana usiwa we amoseo na mundu simu inena. We've never spoken or seen each other for all that time. Mwana usiwa we amoseo andiye nakana anithreatene akumbua. I don't know, a lot of stories that are happening. Akulwa thoko malawe. She mentioned where I was working.
What?
Yes. I don't know how she knew. Yes. She mentioned, she gave out my name, she gave out everything, and I was like, I wish data policy was implemented during that time because I really suffered an online war. I really suffered a lot of calls, threatening, sijui nini and all that. I had a very good manager. She was a lady. And namwekalia namulilika ndio tabisi kila cheki kiwa kwa. Now today this and this is happening. Today I mean 1 hour after I've had that discussion with her, she told me take leave, go handle that matter, na urudi. Na ikaricho that time. Before at my workstation, I got a call from FIDA. Someone, sijui alikuwa anajita nani from FIDA, and they are serving me, I don't know what, na kama siwezi enda watatumana nichukuliwe, you know, threats. So I sat down and I will not suffer this alone. There was a client na survey I knew she was a senior magistrate, Kericho Law Courts. And I needed her advice. And then she told me, nilika courtroom in the next 10 minutes. If you can make it here in 3, then I will listen to you. Now, but accessing you is the problem. Someone, ukipiga hii simu, someone will bring you to where I am. So, nabika, nato awache mbane yake. I narrated the whole story and then she told me nobody should threaten you. She wrote 3 letters to me. Mwenyewe aliziandika. Na namwelezea issue ya kesi sio on there and everything and what happened. And then she wrote 3 letters. 1 to Mlolongo Police Station. Demanding failure hiyo kesi. The second one to Mavoko Law Courts. Kesi ya kwa Mavoko Law Courts. Also demanding the proceedings of that case. And the third one was to DPP. How that case iliisha without kupewa my right of kusikizwa, niji explain and what happened. Then she gave me those 3 letters na ambe hizo ni wewe umeandika sasa. Take them to those specific officers. And in each office, when you're there, let me know. I traveled from Kericho overnight okana vika lobby. I spent at my friend's place. Noka Mlolongo, I dropped that letter. I went to Mavoko, I dropped that letter. Then I went to the DPP's office in Machakos. I dropped that letter. Namambia they will respond within 2 weeks. So me, I traveled back. But I was still getting a lot of threats, nini. And then I was like, there is no problem. But ngeya sijaiona hizo signs. Akujai kuwa na that discussion at any given time, but things happen. But I maintained my calm, and then I started doing a lot of consultation because I was depressed. You know, we think being depressed is getting admitted to Mathari Hospital. No, there's something we're battling silently without knowing. So that's what I was going through. But I Nabikitela level, okay, I'm not talking to people. My best friend became alcohol. I used to drink to a point, that club in Kericho, they knew me to a point of huyu hata akikosa kulipa, we know where we are going to get the money from. Yes. To that level. That unakunywa, you go home, tomorrow unaletewa bill kazini ulipa. It was bad. There's a friend of mine who started talking to me in Kericho. Many was telling me, bro, this is not normal. Can we talk? Even recommended niende mental institution. Niende rehab. I told him, no, I'm not going to rehab. I will deal with my demons the way they are. I was questioning God. Like, why? Why me? Bono umenieka hii level. I used to be one of you. Nilikutumikia at my youthful life. Now this and this is happening, you know. I was questioning the existence of God. I was questioning a lot. When I started talking to that guy, he's not a psychologist. He was just a marketer like me. And we started to connect. It became easy for me. We used to talk every day. Ananitumia contacts, hebu pigia huyo muongee naye kidogo. Alikuwa na watu anajua. So when I started opening up, I started feeling better. Vitu mingi nachukulia ni ngumu, they became so light to me. And then it moved on that way. So by that time, sasa nangoja kurespondiwa, ndio nilipigiwa simu from the office of DPP Machakos. And then I told them, you can email me hizo files. Then they were like, no, hizi lazima ukujie physically. I had to come back again. What? And that is after, it was after around 2-3 months. That's when now they were communicating back to me. I know nothing about law. So when I got the letters, I opened them. So nikasoma, I'm not understanding what is going on. So I took photos. I now had a smartphone. So I took photos, nikatumia yule magistrate. Akasoma, akaniambia kesi ilitupwa, and I think section 112, which clearly states amwezi rudisha hiyo kesi kotini. But nikamuuliza, mi sijai kuja, nikasema kesi kwe withdrawn, ama hii kesi tutasort hivi na hivi. You know, there are options. Sijawahi simama hivi kwa koti. Ukasema. Hata acha kusema, sijawahi simama hivi kusema what happened kwa koti. Sijawahi. And now it started raising questions. Na Amber, you just come back, we will find a solution. Now it has been that way mpaka wa leo. Now, before all that drama, nena ambisia kwe kwa surgeries procedures, and reconstructive procedures are very expensive. Some of them were paid by NHIF, partly, the others I had to fund them. Nimefanyiwa 13 surgeries as we speak today. Skin grafting. Wow. The last 3 were very critical because ndizo zilikuwa like tumejaribu nziasio. Then they say this is now the final. in these procedures that we are going to do. Inother ema payo ndo ungewekwa. So unafanya grafting, inapona, zingine zina fall off. Zingine inapatwa na infection, ina fall off, you have to repeat that procedure again. Zingine zinafanywa, hiyo side ina peak, but una develop a keloid. So now you have to go again to get that keloid off. So unapata you are on, off in an hospital. So the last 3 were very, very critical. They involved the harvesting of a full tissue with its veins, with its artery, with its everything. Ndio kuje iekwe. So now they have to create a wound. Ndio sasa hiyo part ikuje iekelewe. So that was in 2023. 2023 alone, within 3 months nilifanya the 3 surgeries. They harvested the first one from my right arm. Now they are separate one of the veins because the entakaji okay they live. Yes. So the vein ilipitishwa tu hapa and then the part ikawekwa. I think we need to also look at the types of hospitals we go to and the qualification of these practitioners. That procedure, even the hospitals, I will not mention the hospital, but wakai wakijua they did wrong to me and they really made me spend a lot of money. They messed me a lot. Nimefanyiwa procedure. Actually, before the procedure, I had gone kwa clinic kwanza to discuss. Unfortunately, mundula tu nena na ketiwa kwesombeka that procedure. So I'm giving information to the wrong person. Now, siku ya surgery, that's when I meet the surgeon, I meet another person. And then I'm like, what is going on now? Yeye alisoma brief yenye imeandikwa kwa file. Okay? And then they had recommended to do, he did his best actually, the real surgeon now. He told me whatever has been recommended here, based on your history, I can't do. Because they had recommended again a skin graft. Then he said he's going to do what we call a free flap. And it's going to take around 4 hours. He was not psychologically prepared for that, but now ameona the situation how it is, now he has to change everything. Even the equipment anataka kutumia and all that. So ilibidi after nimemweleza na wanambe umalanza theater. So now everyone, my friends are there. My cousin is there. My fiance is there. And then they ask me what is going on. Naambia na kwandesi. Na wanambete la ngengiba. My cousin, she's very bold. She walked in there and aliuliza tough questions. And then at least this guy gave us hope. Procedure to deposit him, but everything is set. So now, for that procedure, it took around 4 or 5 hours somewhere there. You know, we theater watu our recovery room. I'm telling you, the pain I was in, ile pain nilikuwa na ile ya kubansi sasa, was in a lot of pain. Morphine was not even working on me. Nimeletewa dawa. Now the funny thing, that hospital is not well equipped. They have to ask for madawa from their branch, which is almost 27 kilometers away from there, Seattle, to that hospital. Nitumie. After recovery, I'm supposed to be taken to the ward. The theater is on the ground floor. Lift yao ifanye. So now I have to walk. And I'm going to muina stretch and my friends can carry me. I'm like, no. Na tembeye stairs. That is like after 3 hours after surgery. 6 hours. That can range. I'm still in pain, but nile sasa umeanza kuizoea, umeanza kuiadopt. Na tembea na vika wodini. Masama visit maithe lile nini, they made sure nimewekwa vizuri and then they left. Then my fiance was like, ndiko eno kanitiwa mwana. Uzuri kuitotewa sana mwana, no, si mbali, you can just, at least I can raise my arm, I can make a phone call in case there's anything, there's a button here, if there's a problem I will definitely alert the relevant people. Na mavi tuwewe na mavi. Do you know I started bleeding from around 2 a.m. mpaka saa 5 ya mchana. Naimba. They call it, it's a condition called hematoma. Naimba. The whole bed is full of, to me, I've sent instructions. My brain has already sent instructions that ninetana, but hakuna sauti imetoka. Neno kililio koko, my brain has already told my arm pinea button yezu. So to me na feel nimesha finya but sija finya. I was alone in that ward.
What?
The whole night. Clean and work you mbele ya Bukwacho. Around 6:37. Alikuja akanipata. Then akaenda akaita daktari. So they tried to arrest this problem and up to saa 5. So when now my friends came, moketo mbona kwacha, engine maendete weani mabato. So they were like, "Ai, kwani kutoka tena mama hivi." But when my cousin came and my fiance, they said no, lazima tu chumo tupata. Lazima tu. Na edha mundu sundebo mtu tabiende chao, ndebo tu ekaletu yere. No, nikashida kidogo, nini we are sorting it out, blah blah blah. They stormed in, cha lazima. Kama mbele ya isi situation. Sasa hiyo nimefura yani onoke wazuni sana. Takata. Mwe wonde imefura. So one mistake they did, I think they stitched the veins. Wow. So nikaanza kuwa na backflow ya damu. So my cousin and my fiance had to call the surgeon now. So the surgeon has a procedure quicker in a different hospital, but he's sending someone immediately. Do you know the other person who was sending corrected a problem in almost 6 hours within 5 minutes? And that's how I had even turned pale. Then I'm busy turn color. Yeah. And then we demanded I get discharged from that hospital. So now nikaenda to the official clinic here, the other surgeon, the surgeon who did the procedure now. On getting there, na admit a few days and then I was discharged. I went home well. But one of the flap vile one of the side died. Yeah. So nikabaki na one side. So now hii side moja yezi saidia cause ilipona na ikafura. So you have to kutoa yote tena muanze surgery afresh. And now the first procedure is they call it I can't remember the exact name, but it's more of kwanza tusafishe. Na ukae 2 weeks with a wound and then you come tufunike that wound. So that was the second one. Now the last one, I managed to talk to the surgeon now in depth. And then he told me that he's not the best person for that procedure, but he's going to get me the best doctor for that, the best plastic surgeon. And it's very expensive. Because that procedure alone ilitukula 1.5 million. Wow. Yes, 1.5 million. But it was successful. So it involved the harvesting of now a muscle from my right leg. Mpaka yumie arteries. So they had to truly harvest it. It's a procedure that was planned, well planned, well executed. Na wewe na prepare pia psychologically. Ndo atueleti okay, you will not die, but it's a procedure that involves a lot of things because they have to use the microscopic goggles and all that for the harvesting and all that. That took 10 hours. Yes. That took 10 good hours. Then they harvested, nikaekwa. I was okay. I was not in pain. Like, normal. Yes, but I can't move. Why? The way that flap iliekwa, their positions I'm supposed to sleep. Nakomie na mwongo for 2 weeks na waro blisters there. Wow. You're not supposed to turn. Mpaka ipik the way they explained it. But the beauty is I was already prepared. So even if I was complaining, I was like, but you guys told me. So that one was expected. Then I got discharged and then I started moving on with my life. So that has been my journey. Recently, you see now under the neck you wear. Yeah. So now, si kufura. Okay, ni kufura. That's how people take it, but that is more fat. Oh. So and then nika develop again contracture on this upper side and on this upper side. So it's making my sitting position difficult. So if I have to sit comfortable, I have to sit hivi na ndikala. Oh, tuikumbete. Exactly. Ama I sit alafu ulinete bana. Ni lean hivi. There's no time I will sit straight. When it's too cold, the muscles they tend to shrink. So you find now my movement again becomes difficult because I think we did not give enough allowance to to the skin to stretch. So iko tight. Because if I move this contracture ina stretch all the way to here. So inavuta ngozi from this point yote. So that's the next procedure that we are looking kufanya.
Bedini ogedeba uwe pe post eno nete bandu shete anasia twa post and then wavero showing ngukule ni about chao ni about kuitwa ama ilikuwa about nini?
No process isu si ya kuitwa which I know is one thing na netekilile nyeta mundu siezi rudi 100% undu na elite undu nombiwe and for your information I don't have a single photo of how I looked before I got banned except ila nemo ini na ne high school but after high school sina anything that I can clearly tell. Yes, so it's part of reconstructive surgery because reconstructive surgery is continuous, especially si advanced. Tikindoke kwa one day and then keithela. The other maybe conditions kana development sikika after the procedure also. So that's why you saw that post looking at it's a medical appeal to for people to help me and for people who believe that we can create a good society without war, we can love each other without scars, we can like you can leave a permanent positive thing to someone than a permanent negativity. Yes.
Wow. Ni Harambee una organize ama ni hiyo poster peke yake watu wachange online ama uko na group WhatsApp ama unapanga kufanya aje? Because unajua si pesa kidogo unatafuta.
Yeah. Because actually I'm also looking at clearing every month I pay hospitali pesa because we agreed sikumaliza the whole amount cash, yes so every month when I get money I deposit some money so I'm going back to the same people wenye walinifanyia uzuri so that we can continue with the procedures so sio Harambee I have a small WhatsApp group with a few friends I'm trying not really to avoid but yes there are people who join groups with different interests and okay there are scammers and all that you know and then getting that popularity out there so I wanted to do first on my TikTok page my followers and any other person Moloko we were no one is support exactly because we are looking at almost 800,000 yes
pokea utapata hiyo
amen
so mafans maverovero tuko that niangane namba ila utona kusupport mwana witula ni Samuel Mbithi abikie na kwata uwitula wailete abikie na kuitwa otondo wewa kila mwai niwe bandibi ila wabikie na kuitwa etina wa kubibwa na mautamata ni mundu wa mwita sweetheart wa mwita kendo wa bokole wa mwita kendo wa kingi but ni life but wewe maisha kana wewe mapenzi menda kutwana tafadhali ondokea sana ndoke kale in the name of mundu ningwe nimwendete mundu eti tina mali bingi muno nake timandite mundu twekala miaka mingi hapana ambaye ndambe no ikia thai waku so Samuel nukwitho inengane namba yake noane nukunengane oyu na pia nukwitho inengane timina program na ituko miandika baunde ni wa screen so tafadhali kiitwa omundi ni Samuel one ndwisi niwe kana ni mundu waku kana no so tafadhali kila winacho wikia na kumutumia nambani lokwitha inengane kana paybill ni lokwitha inengane kana tha utedio wisi utona umunenga pia karibu sana onoka seno kuungamia surgery isiyo onde wiweka tutunge ngai mubea muno na tikuboya baraka ndukabikie na uthero la suo nomwe now nituma kwa nini kwa poster utapeana peana namba sahihi ama vile undu mundu utona ku support
yes.
Then makulio ratu then tumalize
yes namba yako ya simu ila ngutumia for that purpose actually ni create it a paybill number I prefer the paybill but also my contact is also there ni create it a paybill niyo easy na pia okay then ya centralize the collection na with the nila isi pia kuiva kana munduke then niyo na the genuinity in it ko it's a KCB paybill number ila ni 522533 alafu account number wikia 99 059 99 99 059 isu niyo account number.
Kwa kithiomo kingi withi kwa M-Pesa na undu tho wa sindo through M-Pesa uyikia paybill number ya 522 533 account niyo kwikia ila ni 99 059 isu niyo account alafu yiki amount ilo ndo msupport nayo na endi pin ya kuya mbesa then ikia niwa iba tu Samuel mbidi something sindio.
Yes
nangai ikwathima now Samuel makulu elia tuimina niwa ikiye ex girlfriend usu wa kwikiu na kesi ukamifufua ela wibo wapi ukana niwa ise achana na history.
Kusema ukweli kumwekea na mwekea na nyendena thina but at times we provoke back 2019 2020 no amanthie kwa my Facebook Messenger but I ignored and then 2023 immediately na mina this surgeries now niwokie kwa Facebook ya kwenge ambandikia hae na mwea I didn't want to respond but something pushed me and then I was with my cousin that time also I frequent her a lot no ndetha cia muno psychological wine na cio mbingi na na mwea aya ndio na losi ambandikita message and I don't feel like talking ambiye this will be the best opportunity for you to talk to her. Continue the conversation the way it is, but usikubali kuprovoke. I'm here to support you. So I responded back. Angulia niendera na mwe niendene. I've actually posted that on my TikTok also. Angulia niendera mwe niendene. Ambia I miss you. And then that really triggered something. And then it fresh. Because I know ni mundu tuendanite and all that. Me have moved on with my life, so why all this? Na namukulia webambe Mombasa. Mwe okay. Angulia wendera na mwe ngoye niende nesa. Angulia why are you bitter with me? Namukulia neither ni bitter na kweta.
Umejuaje niko bitter?
Exactly, you're the one who started the conversation. Ambewe. Yani the way she responded akukuwa na remorsefulness. Then she was like, okay, what I did now mutumie photos siakwa. I had someone who was taking photos and documenting my whole story. Surgery. So I had photos in theater, I had photos after theater, I had photos in the ward and all that. So anyway, I think I was provoked enough. So now I took the bad photos, the graphical ones, the ones that kwa pool ya blood and all that, because I was like, no, you've tormented me enough. Let me throw back it to you. So I sent her those photos and then I asked her, what do you miss there? And then I put a caption there. That was me 3 months ago. Nikifanyiwa nini? Surgery ya damage yenye you caused. So what do you miss there? Do you know alisema nini? She thinks I'm not ready to have a civil conversation with her. Yes. And I can go as well and block her.
Where?
Yes. Na nikamuuliza, who started the conversation? I didn't. After all those years, nyendia umanda. Niwo kwigata? Niwo umanda. So, I feel that point of being provoked, one, it's a clear indication that the justice process was already corrupted.
Yeah.
And she feels so superior that nothing was done to her.
Yeah.
And I'm here now suffering, paying medical bills, having emotional issues, you know, getting to a point of you are depressed because of a simple thing. So she feels that power. I had planned something with a few friends of mine. It's not something bad. I'm planning before I go for my surgery, I will do the same letters again. And I will do a walk. All the way from my house with my friends, and I wish I can get the media to cover that. This is not only for Samuel Mbite. This is for any other person who has been denied justice. So that we get to understand what really happened. It's not about me. It's about everyone else. I will be delivering those letters personally, doing a walk, a charity. So my followers,
Vero Vero Show,
tutakuja. You can join me. It will be a peaceful one. Yeah, it will be a peaceful one. We will notify the police early in advance so that we can get the permits and then we do it. Yeah. Yes, because my problem is I want to understand what happened. Because if this continues, then it means a lot of people who are gender-based violence are really suffering a lot. Yes.
Wow. All the best. Thank na you. Congratulations nondwa kwiyetikila na kuosta jani ya ili ya positive na unaendelea vizuri. Pia asante wengi nondwa kwa ndeni wa Vero Vero Show. I wish you all the best. Ndeni wa surgery ya kuila next. Ndeni wa demo siya kuilo kwika siya kupreach kawa amevai udhele. In fact kuna mashida mingi nondo na alama te matanene te maume tende no relationships kandi no marriages ni moingi
thank you muno
ni moingi matesi matono nena hata matona kwiwi kata but asante sana nondo wako makushai na kwa kushare story yako uli move on Leo bado ni vya wasia fiancé sio fiancé ashakuwa wife ama hizo memories uli delete za ex na ukasema wacha nianze ya fresh.
Yes.
Ilikuwa aje lazima ili take time.
Haikuwa rahisi. And we accept all the challenges undu sailio. And today I was having a conversation with a certain lady. And then she was also trying to encourage me because the conversation is based about what happened to me. So nikampea a glimpse. And then she kind of shared had a similar deal, not to her but to a friend. And then ambeye ndo Biblia yasia guard your heart with wisdom. And that wisdom is what will create happiness and it is what will give you like what you need out there. Because without the wisdom, utapotea sana. That one I've learned today. Now going back to how I moved on, it is not easy to just wake up and pick this glass and then you just put it over there. Especially when it is broken. It was a long journey and I'm still going through that journey. One thing is, I have suffered in the hands of feminists on social media, but I've never given up. Always ulimfanyia. It is always ulifanya nini.
Yes, kuna mtu mwingine aliona kwa comment section anasema lazima kuna kitu ulifanyia huyo madam aezi fanya hivyo bure.
So we are justifying a mistake. And if all the time we keep justifying why you did something, then you are part of the oppressors. You're making the survivor or the victim look like they are the problem. And I've seen that a lot with it cuts across both genders. Manaume akipost something happened to him, the ladies are there bullying. When a lady posts, the men are there bullying. Our society has been designed in a way that if you provoke a woman, then you will get the wrath. Okay? But that is not the reality. The reality is, we are all humans. But remember, we are not all humans. Tuna human, na tuna human animals. And when you look at that narrative, you will understand why. Hello, you have lunch with someone. Immediately wamina and then someone umwese okay wesa lunch na nzoke sunike. Because already they have seen something bad in them or they have heard or the person has done something bad. And then someone will be like, wesa lunch nanganya usio na sawa. You know, that even soothes you. It took me a lot of time. It took me a lot of counseling. It took me a lot of reading. It took me a lot of alcohol. I mentioned that. Like I tried every bit to forget. To a point of I hated ladies. Singeongelesha mwanamke. Like I have nothing to do with you. Not because I hate you. I just hate the experience. So ikanifanya nikaeka watu wote the same level. But as time went on, I realized that and wangu mena nongo so mena. My mom is a lady. I have sisters. And if I become negative about women all the time, then I have nimeweka pia kwa hiyo category. Nikaanza kuongea na watu. My cousins also started doing the real counseling kwangu. I had gone through a little of biblical counseling. But my cousin is more of a psycho counselor. Now we were talking the facts and the reality. Not what the Bible is telling you that God loves you. Of course he does. But now there's the reality of how you are going kuonekana pale inje and how you are going to embrace it. Nekia gloves all through.
No,
I was afraid of the stigma out there. Then, no. Now avoid the stigma out there. And then where you are in a public place and people are looking at you with weird eyes. What happened? You are not ready to talk, you know. So I was avoiding all that. Najifunga this scarf. So you will see there's a problem with that person, but you cannot clearly tell. So one thing she told me was, gloves isu ambi scarf isu over tupa, full neck isu kia tupa, vaa nguo kama watu wale wengine normal. And if anytime anyone asks you what happened, don't shy off. Tell them what happened. I used to lie kitambo a lot. A sign of I had not accepted myself. Mina no gasi alipukie nomba na avia. So it makes the conversation easy. Wewe mundu mukai Nikki.
Utaki maswali mingi.
So that's what I was avoiding. During that time, social media was not vibrant like today. Social media started becoming vibrant time ya COVID. We were all idle, we were in the house, internet, So that's when most of these social media and then I also became kinda afraid of posting my story. Watu watanichukulia aje? And then my fiance, siweke ongea chenye wanaweza ongea. Na yeye si wa social media, but she doesn't. So when I started talking about it, actually I realized the things that I could handle, I handle them easily through social media. And then I become like a point of encouragement to a lot of people. Today I get a lot of DMs on my socials about people asking me how I managed to get there. It's about accepting yourself, picking up the pieces. The pieces, yes, they might not come back together. But as time goes on, you are gluing that problem slowly, to a point whereby everyone sees you as totally a different person. I'm not saying that to impress followers or anyone. I also have my highs and lows. Because this is a permanent scar I have. Siwezi imaliza. So anytime I look at it, it triggers something. But what I've done my best is I have not allowed it to affect the way I'm going to live. So vile niko, najipenda hivyo, and I live with I call them tattoos actually.
Wow. Asante. Ngaina kwa thime nundu wa kutune into Verovero Show muthenya wa mundi ethiwa na evinda icio Samuel ni mubea oingi nundu wa kuka next time tukane na yolo wa wimi nundu ni swindi no field ya wimi na wikedia wana green life sana.
Thank you.
Asante.
Thank you.
Aya.